from BioStar Restoration Service can quickly restore your home or business as good as new. BioStar is independently owned and operated with 24/7 emergency service and discounts to veterans. Call BioStar at 844-424-6782 or online at restorationbiostar.com. A ceasefire brokered by Qatar appears to be holding between Israel and Iran, despite both sides having accused the other of violating the truce in the hours after it was announced. Israel saying it intercepted 2 missiles launched from Iran, which Tehran denied, and then Israel struck back. So far, Israel's emergency services have claimed that 28 people in Israel were killed during the 12-day war, while the Washington-based group Human Rights Activists say nearly 1,000 people in Iran have been killed. Felony charges being brought against the 2 teens who are alleged to have critically wounded a man with whom they were doing a deal for marijuana at a Buena Vista Township apartment earlier in the year. MLAB reporting 16-year-old Ronnie Clemens is one of the 2 being charged, while the other one remains at large. Saginaw County authorities reportedly pulling a 45-year-old woman's body from the Saginaw River on Monday. Bridgeport Township police said to have been tipped off just hours earlier by her family that they should be watching out for her due to suspected suicidal possibility. Next month is marking the end of a national suicide prevention hotline that's been specifically geared toward LGBTQ youth. The 988 Suicide and Crisis line's been there for folks under the age of 25 to talk with trained counselors who then provide mental health support. That line is now being phased out to shift its focus to support for all callers. Tigers pounded the A's 11-4 last night. They'll go at it again tonight at Comerica Park at 6:40. Great Lakes Loons lost to the Fort Wayne Tin Caps. Final there was 8-7. And to cap this one off tonight, kicks off a season of summer concerts in the city of Grand Blanc, as the music is going to happen on several Wednesdays through the summer at Physicians Park on Reed Road. Those shows scheduled for tonight, for July 16th, and for August the 6th. And according to MLive, the summer events in Grand Blanc are not this year going to include the Food Truck Festival. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Some sunshine mixed with the clouds that we've got right now. Chance we're going to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms today with temps to touch around 79 with relatively light east-northeast winds. Clouds take over tonight and we'll be bottoming out around 65 degrees. Then tomorrow we're to expect another sun-clouds mix and perhaps a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon. Temperatures up around 83. For Friday, more sunshine for the most part, although the chances for a shower or thunderstorm do increase as the day gets later. Warmer temperatures return on Friday, too. We'll make it up to 87. Right now it's 74 in Flint, and in Saginaw, 71.
Well, if you're going to a concert tonight, you might really love Steph's Fox Flashback if it happens to be this one. We'll tell you about it coming up. About a half hour away from your chance to win and find out what Steph's got cooking for you today on Steph's Fox Flashback. 103.9 The Fox.
And so our meeting is called to order on a Wednesday, the 25th of June. 6 months since, 6 months till Christmas. How are you? We're on our simul stream again. It's YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, available to each and every one of you. And we usually start with pretty much everybody on YouTube, and that seems to be what's going on now. First of all, good morning to Canada Dan, who joins us. Also to California, Eric, who joins us. Good morning to Eric. New Mexico is represented by Chris. Good morning to Chris. The township, we've got Linda here. Good morning, Linda. Tina's here from New Jersey, so we have the complete Thelma and Louise team now joining us. Good morning to the ladies. And Vince is also joined from California. So we've got a couple of angles of the state of California covered this early hour of the morning. I don't know, these people like to get up real early to do this kind of thing, but we're happy about that. Sheila's here from the land of the 3 bridges, used to be 4, before they started constructing one. Good morning, Sheila. Also, it's Dale in Arizona. Good morning to Dale. So, and everybody right now is on YouTube who is with us, so we don't have to do any relaying of messages yet, but that'll change when we get people coming in on Facebook and on Twitch. It is much, much cooler now. I was just out walking around a little bit to kind of get the feel of it. Yesterday was incredibly humid and warm for that hour of the morning, but today, 74 degrees Fahrenheit and feeling far more comfortable. And, of course, it's not going to even make it probably going to make it to 80. The forecast is 79, but that usually means that with conservative look at it that they tend to do, we'll hit 80 in some spots, but that's not 90. 80 is not 90. At the moment, it's going to be 11 Celsius in Finland when we get 80 Fahrenheit. You get 80 Fahrenheit when it hits 26 Celsius, almost 27. But right now, let's see. No. Is that what it is now, 11? Okay, so 52 Fahrenheit. 52 Fahrenheit in Finland, reports Rapsuka. Did you figure out Instagram was the live button there? Yeah, it sure was. We were on yesterday on Instagram. Amazingly, just woke up and magically it was there. Just like it had magically disappeared a week earlier, it magically reappeared yesterday. So we managed to get on for a little while yesterday on Instagram, and we'll again tomorrow. When we get to assuming that they don't change things again, we should be in the Hal Hole Saloon tomorrow morning. That makes Rapsuka ecstatic. He's from Finland, but I think he knows that, at least the meaning of that word, ecstatic. Boss lady here, from the state that's being sung about right now. I don't think she's happy about being there, but she's in Alabama. Good morning to Boss Lady. Give the smile source in a couple seconds here. I gotta tell you why I wasn't. The last couple days it's been tough to get any smiling going. I'll tell you why in a couple minutes. But first, let's see if they're going to talk to you here. Johnny and Steph are here. They'll be here again tomorrow, but Friday, Steph is going to be gone on vacation to Denver, Colorado to go watch Metallica in concert. Johnny will be joined Friday by Melissa Hager, and then next week when Steph gets back from her vacation, Johnny will leave and go to Florida. See what's going on here.
Flint's Classic Rock, 103.9 The Fox.
No, I guess we're just going to go right into the next song. So with that being the case, we might as well give you the smile source. Says we got two of them today. We're going to show you Lacey and Dusty, who are Shelties, who live in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Yeah. This is Lacey and Dusty. Lacey and Dusty. Shelties from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Royal Rachel's here on YouTube, and yes, that is correct. We were just talking about the fact that magically the live button reappeared for us on Instagram yesterday after it had just mysteriously disappeared for last Thursday's gathering. So we managed to get on Instagram again, and barring any unforeseen weird stuff at Meta that MZ pulls off, between now and tomorrow, we should be on again on Instagram in the Hal Hole Saloon, where everybody knows your name, and we take your favorite drink order and your maybe a light beverage tossed in if you'd like, and we're able to discuss whatever you need to discuss with your friendly neighborhood barkeep and all your friends at Hal Raisers. That's tomorrow. They were beautiful dogs. I mentioned a number of times that in the case of a Sheltie, I did work in a spot. In fact, the first time coming back to this market, when I went over to talk to some folks at the old radio station I used to do mornings, which happened to be on this frequency, but in a different building and with a different format, different ownership and everything. But it was 103.9 at the time, and I went in to talk about doing that with them. Their ownership, the guy who owned that station, had a Sheltie. And that was the first face I saw when I walked in the door to meet with those people for the very first time ever before starting to do mornings over there. That Sheltie greeted me at the door. And now over on Facebook from Carroll, Michigan, her old home before she moved out to Virginia and then West Virginia, which is where she calls home now. Our favorite Marine is Heather, and she's here. Good morning, Heather. Are you enjoying being home so far? I got to assume probably yeah. Because we did have a real hot day for you to welcome back yesterday. Today's going to be a little different. little more comfortable, although maybe not as bright at the moment. It looks outside like it could rain anytime, but it's not supposed to. It's just going to be cloudy for a while. But yeah, Heather's back in Cairo for a little while to revisit all the folks in Michigan that are family and friends that are incredibly ecstatic. Again, let's use that word to see her returning. In fact, you've been in her parents' pool all day yesterday. That would be the place yesterday to be, yeah. Absolutely would be. Absolutely. Chris wants to know if he gets a free drink tomorrow since it's his birthday week. We might. We'll have to think about it. But we might, but not a Fireball. Of course. Of course. And now Eric is not going to be with us because he's got a Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra that does not work anymore. Really? So he's upgrading. Okay. I see. Okay. When you say it doesn't work, it just doesn't turn on and do anything, or is it just slow? What's going on with that? Okay, evidently, because we're starting to overuse the word so far, ecstatic is going to be the word of the day. Linda has anointed ecstatic. So this ought to be easy to learn how to spell, pronounce, and use in a sentence. We've already done it twice. The word ecstatic today. Chris is going to go for his usual Dr. Pepper, of course, when we get there. Back to Johnny and Steph on the air. Oh, it doesn't even turn on. Oh, okay.
I'm telling you what, sometimes these names that come up in sports are just, they're perfect.
Yeah?
You got a lot. This was one of my favorite. We used to have Dick Trickle to talk about all the time. I think he passed away. He was a race car driver. But
that's right, he was, yeah.
There's a new guy who is a pitcher now for the Mets, and his name is Dickie Lovelady. This might be the best name in baseball. Dickie Lovelady.
Enter Dickie Lovelady, the new Mets sensation.
It's a man, baby.
Hold on to your hats, Mets fans. Meet Dickie Lovelady, a 29-year-old pitcher, the name of the new player, Dickie Lovelady. The greatest name in sports. Dickie Lovelady is a Met.
It's a man, baby. It's a man, baby. It's a man, baby.
How old are you over there?
I'm sorry. I freaking loved it. That was a montage. Those were all the sports guys talking about it. So, yeah, they're all doing the same thing. They're going, oh, you got to love this name. Dickie Lovelady. So.
And his cousin, love you long time.
Vietnam vets get some PTSD when you say that. So careful.
Oh, I'm sorry.
7:13 here in the foxhole. I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's 13 minutes past the top of the hour. Dickie Lovelady, I just love that. And I can't wait to hear the announcers doing the play-by-play with Dickie Lovelady on the mound.
No, you can't have it for your new radio name.
High and uptight with Dickie Lovelady. Alrighty. Hey, I think I've mentioned this before to you. I get up a little bit earlier than I need to for meditation and doing some of that thing and catching up with the news and some other things. And I found that is, when I was younger, I would get up 5 minutes before I had to be somewhere.
Right?
And you're running like a crazy man. And it kind of work when you're younger because you're a little more organized. But when you get older, you want to take your time.
Yeah.
And they're going to be doing something up at the Inn at Bay Harbor this summer. Now, I guess they've done it in the past. I've never heard of it before, but they're doing something up there that might help you. They're guided sessions, mindfulness sessions, if you will, but they're called Sunset Sound Healing Sessions at the Inn at Bay Harbor, and they're going to do it this summer, starting July 7th and running till the end of August. They're guided sessions, and they're returning weekly. Between work, family, and other obligations, it might be tough to find quiet moments for you, so this might be something that might be something you'll enjoy. I actually don't even know what the Sunset Sound Healing Sessions are, but apparently they were really popular last year, so they're bringing them back.
And I'm glad. there is a lot of scientific research that backs that
Yeah.
that sound, when done right, can impact you on a cellular level.
Yeah, we talked about this
Yeah, we
yesterday
did,
briefly,
yes,
didn't
yeah.
we?
There's a whole new branch of archaeology called archaeoacoustics. And what they're finding now is with a lot of these ancient structures,
Right.
like Newgrange
Yeah.
in Ireland or even Stonehenge, those places were designed to maximize the sound's effect on the body.
Yeah.
And they are finding that there are a lot of benefits to that.
There you go. So you may want to check that in at Bay Harbor for this summer and some of those sessions that they've got going on there. It's 7:15 now, quarter after. We're less than a half an hour away from Steph's Fox Flashback, and that'll be your chance to win. And in the process, pick your prize, and we got a lot of them to pick from, so stick around for that. And don't forget, you can join Roy Moore this Friday. He is going to be on the air with us. See, Steph is going to be gone. She leaves Thursday after her morning show on her trip to Denver. I'll leave next week. In your place, we're going to have Melissa Hager filling in on Friday.
Oh, great. She's
And
going
Roy-
to steal my job.
There you go.
She's
Yeah,
going
sure.
to steal my job.
I wouldn't worry about that. She's going to be here when we have Roy Moore also joining us. We got a lot of people joining us on Friday. Roy's going to be with us starting at 9 a.m. He'll actually be with us until 10, and then, of course, with Steve Driver until 11. At Great Lakes Rental and Supply, which is out there on East M71 in Durand, your go-to full-service dealership for, the stuff that they have there, which is at glrsupply.com is where you go to look at some of this stuff. But they got the very best deals of the year right now on all their Bobcat equipment. Narrow track, wide track, tons of attachments. Their huge 2-day open house this Friday from 7 till 5 and Saturday from 8 until 1. And Roy Moore will be there with the Fox Monster broadcasting live with Fox on the Run from 9 until 11 this Friday morning. This is all stuff that you could buy or rent at Great Lakes Rental and Supply. And if you need to do some backyard or some heavy earth moving this year, they've got those Bobcats out there, so check those out. They also have zero turns and compact tractors, utility vehicles, and more, as in Roy Moore, with lots of refreshments on Friday when he's there. Free giveaways, chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets. We're going to give away some Tiger tickets there for an upcoming game at Comerica Park, and there are 4 premium seats, 3 rows back from the outfield, halfway between third base and home run fence there at Comerica Park, so you're going to want those. Stop in between 9 and 11 while Roy is there on Friday at Great Lakes Rental and Supply in Durand to get registered to win. You can find out more at glrsupply.com. Be sure to like and follow them on Facebook as well. It's 17 past.
The NBA really needs to do a better job of marketing its players so that you can identify them. I'm seeing right now on my screen here the video of a little bit of the Oklahoma City Thunder's NBA championship parade that was held yesterday. And I'm seeing 3 guys who are in that video who I've seen in commercials recently, and I had no idea who they were. And I tend to follow sports fairly closely, but not as closely as I used to before I got busy with some other things that I do. But still, you would think that these are some of the best players in the league, which they were, and I had no idea who they were when I was watching them in commercials. Who are these dudes? They're really being featured rather prominently in these commercials. I have no idea who they are. And then I find out, they're champions in the NBA. We play Rainbow in the Dark. Well, I have absolutely no sway on the music that's played here. That's not my area. But we do play Rainbow in the Dark fairly frequently. So let's get to the traffic, and then after that, I want to tell you what has been really distressing me lately whenever I get on social media. Fortunately, I don't get on it as often as some other folks do, and it's becoming more of a challenge to do it. Just because of what's been going on recently. And it makes me a little bit hesitant to want to interact with some of the stuff that I'm seeing. on social media. There's some stuff that you see that you absolutely feel compelled to react to, whether it be like it or respond to it or answer a question that might be asked or offer an opinion that kind of either supports or challenges one that's being put out there by the creator. And lately it's just been really difficult to do. If y'all want to work with our group, you can get a gig as one of our account executives. We're still looking for one out here.
Or email bbailey@classicsfox.com. Coral Communications Inc. is an equal opportunity employer. Traffic.
3.9 The Fox. Vehicle City traffic.
We got a crash in Linden. In the city of Linden, it's on Broad Street, 600 block of Broad Street by the Alpine Food Center, that could be slowing down folks who are in that area. And if you're on northbound 75, right around Dort Highway in Grand Blanc Township, word of the divider barrier that's been hit, pushed into the southbound lane, and it's right at the construction split. So something to have to worry about there. Northbound 75 at Dort Highway, Grand Blanc Township. And of course, for updated vehicle city traffic information throughout the day, we invite you to check out classicfox.com/traffic. And you can tell us about a crash you happen to be seeing, or and any other reason for a slowdown out of the roads at 810-230-WRSR. That's 810-230-9777 to be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox. So we've talked about in past get-togethers, when you go on social media, particularly one like here on Facebook or on Instagram or on TikTok, any of those where there are people who present stuff and then they'll want you to somehow interact with it, be it liking it, commenting on it, any other way that you can interact with what's going on whatever social media platform you are looking at. And I've been doing that with TikTok a little bit. I get hesitant to do it because the more, and I've said this a few times with you guys, the more you interact with one particular type of a presentation that you're seeing, the better chance that you're going to be seeing thousands upon thousands upon thousands more of that very same kind of presentation or topic, whatever it might be, to the point where maybe you get sick of seeing it and you don't know how to shut off the faucet once they start pouring all of that to you. Several days ago, I've been talking to you about how I've seen this WNBA brawl that happened last week involving the league's face right now, Caitlin Clark, and her teammate, Sophie Cunningham, who came to her aid. So I started to see one upon another thing about Sophie Cunningham. So I now know everything I need to know about Sophie Cunningham at all. But the other thing that I was also interacting with just a little bit, or at least watching a little bit more, were some of these people, either individually or who work for animal shelters, who have animals who are in a great deal of distress. And they need either incredibly complicated, expensive surgery or some other type of attention that's going to try to get them back to health again. And I want to tell you about what that's led to in just a minute here.
This is the title of one of the books out there called Bathroom on the Right is one of the books. There are a couple of these that are out there that you talk about misheard lyrics.
Yeah, they're pretty funny, aren't they?
Yeah, and Creedence Clearwater Revival, this one for the longest time people thought was Bathroom on the Right.
Yes.
There's a bathroom on the right. But there's a lot of those, and one of them, the other book is called Excuse Me While I Kiss This Guy, which is, of course, the head is
Another great one.
Kiss the Sky, and it's not Kiss This Guy, but there's another misheard lyric, and there are several of them. 7:24 our time right now, 24 minutes after the top of the hour. Don't mishear this, foxbigdeals.com, or if you can't remember that, click the link that we put for that.
Yeah, the NHL draft is coming, Rapsuka. We typically don't talk much about that because the kids that are being drafted, nobody's heard of. Unless you were an incredibly avid hockey fan, you probably haven't heard any of these names before. The one exception to that, at least in our area, is a kid named Michael Misa, who played for the Saginaw Spirit in our area. We've got two teams in the Ontario Hockey League. Flint Firebirds, Saginaw Spirit. They play in the same league, play each other a ton of times. Big rivalry between the two cities. They're only a few miles apart. Misa played for the Saginaw Spirit and was rated the second best prospect coming out of junior hockey to be drafted. So he's going to be drafted very high. He's going to be drafted probably within the top 3 picks when the draft is held. So look for that name, Michael Misa, out of the Saginaw Spirit. So that's the one thing about the NHL draft that kind of draws people's attention to it. Eric thought that was Bathroom on the Right. A lot of people thought that. But there's a lot of other things that are in music that one would have thought were something other than what they are. Big Old Jet Air. Johnny likes to talk about this Steve Miller song, Big Old Jet Airliner, which he used to thought was Pink Hotel with a light on. The old Beatles song, I Saw Her Standing There, and the way she looked was way beyond compare. Well, for the longest time, I thought it was, and the way she looked with waving arms of hair. There's any number of things that you can do. And in fact, just no more than 3 months ago, I finally found out that our Tom Petty song that we've been playing forever called Free Falling, in which he mentions that she loves Jesus and America too. Well, I was thinking for the longest time that he was singing that she loves cheeses, America too, because he was just rattling off random stuff about what his girlfriend likes or loves. And when he got to the word Jesus, it sounded to me like he meant cheeses. So there's all kinds of ways that you can mishear songs. Yes, Cheez-Its. So I'm on TikTok and I'm seeing these videos about these animals that are in such great distress. And so in a case of some individuals, they have a way that they know how to kind of game the system when it comes to algorithms, and that if you interact by pushing several of the buttons, whether they be to like, follow, comment, and if you comment, you have to have at least 5 words in the comment having to do with whatever that topic is. You can favorite it, all those kind of things, or share it. There's like 5 different selections, and if you select several of them, that gives the creator the opportunity to collect from the creator fund that TikTok can establish for them. And if they do that, they're able to collect a little bit of that. And some people are doing that because they need the money for the vet bills, because these vet bills are so incredibly expensive to try to get these dogs that they've loved forever, that they're trying to save. But of course, the economy being what it is, nobody has the kind of money that you need to pay a vet bill these days. So that would be one way to be able to do that, be able to raise enough money to be able to help this poor animal that's in such dire straits. TikTok banned for 90 days. They have pushed that down the road. Here in the United States, the president has again put off any decision to be made regarding whether or not we get to keep TikTok in the U.S. or not. And I still maintain that the reason that that's happening is because there is an impending deal. There will be one made between an American company and ByteDance in order to get America to be able to have the ownership of TikTok. But I still maintain that what's going to also happen is they likely are not going to, they tell you how many words to use. They say you have to be able, in order to legitimize the, because TikTok knows that people are gaming the system. And one way that they try to make sure that you don't is to say you have to have at least 5 words in the comment, and they have to have something to do with whatever that topic is, that because it's not always about animals. Something might be something else. It might be a food, it might be a recipe channel, or something having to do with politics, or something having to do with sports, anything, whatever it is. As long as the comment has some kind of relevance to whatever that presentation that it is, then they let that comment go through. They know it's not a bot to be able to use it and put it toward that creator, because they're talking about doling out money to people. So, at any rate, that's kind of what's going on. So you end up with if you interact with one of these people or animal shelter facilities that need help for these animals, now every single person who has an animal is coming at you and you're seeing it in the feed. That's all I'm getting is all of these incredible sad stories now of all of these dogs particularly who need help. And there's only so many you can help. I mean, there's only so many you can help even if you start your own shelter. There's only so many of these animals that you can help, and you want to help them all as they go through your feed. And the more that, and I've cut off the idea that I don't watch TikTok nearly as much as I used to before, because now there are so many coming at me of this kind of dire straits animal need thing that I can't continue to watch it without getting messed up here in the head. So, I mean, you know how I am about trying to, I mean, I keep thinking about Jacko, and I keep thinking what it's going to be like for him whenever we get into a situation with him, because we've had to put so much energy and effort into making him kind of lose all of the demons in his mind, so that really kind of you get the emotion that you draw from what happens to an animal is directly proportionate to how much you put into him, how much energy, emotional energy you put into that animal. And that's the kind of thing that just bugs me. It just bugs me to see that. And I saw one this morning that said you passed by it, and it said you scrolled and didn't save this particular animal. And so they're showing a video of this animal who is on like a table at I guess a vet's office, whatever. And this dog is in bad shape. And apparently the inference there being the dog didn't make it because this woman or this owner wasn't able to raise enough money to save it.
Yeah, it is.
The cab of the truck and half of the front of the back of the truck.
Dangling precariously.
Over about a 500-foot drop at least. And
He'll need a clean pair of underwear.
yeah, and he's just sitting there in the cab.
Oh.
Man, you better hope nothing breaks.
Where are you going to go, you know?
Well, you gotta sit in the cab, I guess, but wait for them to pull you off. And you wonder, how firmly attached that truck is when it's not on the ground
Yeah, yeah.
to its trailer, which is holding it up there right now.
I would be scared to scratch my nose. I would be worried about throwing off the balance.
I would be absolutely. You know me in heights.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, not a big fan.
That would be a problem. 7:32 our time right now, 28 minutes in front of the top of the hour. That means Steph's Fox Flashback is just around the corner, and one of the things you get to choose is the prize. And the prize today, we've got several of them, including some tickets, Detroit Tigers, coming up on the 8th and 9th of July. That's a Tuesday and a Wednesday, I believe. And the Tuesday game is an evening game, and the Wednesday game is a 1 o'clock game at Comerica Park in Detroit as they take on the Tampa Bay Rays for both of those games. And you can go to those, or you can take a Scratch Barbecue $25 gift certificate. We give those away every Wednesday. That gets included in the mix. And we also have Jester's Dinners for Two. So all of that up for grabs with Steph's Fox Flashback next.
102.9.
Guilt tripping, yeah, kind of. Because you see the possibilities that the difference you can make if you have the wherewithal to be able to get some of these animals on the road to recovery again, but it's real hard to do that. And you don't know where any of these animals are. That's the thing. You don't really get a chance to find out, are any of them near here? Or are they in Bangkok somewhere? Because you don't really see that part. But they're all using the same tactic, which is to really hit you hard, make you feel like if you don't do this, this animal is going to suffer the worst possible fate. And it's all on you to stop it from happening. So, there is a real difference that can be made, because you can actually enable these creators to get the money that they need to be able to fix these dogs. There is that up, although the wall or the bar for being able to do that is fairly high. That's why you really have to work hard at it if you're going to get on that creator fund. And the creator fund is not going to make you a lot of money anyway, but it's going to make you some. If you get on it, it is going to make you some. Tina watches recipes, animals, Bible, and that's it. That's it. But one of the things that you find is that once you start to, I don't like the money beggars either, other than the fact that if they're doing it for a dog or somebody for an animal, then I have kind of an issue. I like to kind of help that if possible, which is in most cases is not. And then I get bugged about that. But the more you interact with anything that you see on social media, it's not just TikTok. I bring that up only because that's the one where it's become blatant as far as the tactic that's being used to get you interested in helping these animals. But this happens on Facebook. This happens on Instagram, all of these. If you are interacting with anything or anyone about a topic, you will see more of that topic. I'll give you an opportunity. I'll give you an example here on Instagram. I have 3 channels. The one that we use, then we'll use again tomorrow to be in the Hal Hole Saloon being one of them. And that's primarily geared to all of the things that we do either on the air or with you. We'll usually put the replays of our live streams that we've done. They'll stay up for a while. And some other just general miscellaneous stuff that we might have. I did that one ad with Jacko about the hemp tablets to settle him down a little bit. That's up there. One of the other 2 channels that I have is nothing to do with anything but the art that we have. All of the stuff like you'd see on the art wall. And all of pretty much the entire portfolio have that also. And what that means is I'm going to get from other people, I'm going to get a lot of their art showing up in my feed, and which is nice to look at. But I like to see a variety of art, whether it be the realism type of stuff like I do here, or the more abstract stuff, or the paintings, or some of the stuff that is, some of the realism stuff that I see puts anything that I might do to shame. I'm like in class D by comparison to these people that put that stuff up, which is fine, except for the fact that if I start looking a little bit, hold on a second, but make sure traffic coming up here in a second. I want to miss that. Just noticed what time it was. But if I look a little bit too long at one particular type of piece of art or whatever that's being displayed, that's the only kind I'm going to see. I'm not going to see the variety of it that I want to see. I want to be exposed to a number of different kinds of art, predominantly the painting / sketching type of stuff, as opposed to like sculptures and that kind of thing, which is still cool. I still like to see those. But I like to see these one particular. But the more I look at one particular type of art, I'm going to get 1,000 more pictures of that and nothing else, because I think that's all I want to see. Right now, our one problem continues to exist along northbound 75 at Dort Highway in Grand Blanc Township. The divider barrier apparently has been hit. It's pushed into the southbound lane right at the construction split. So know that if you're in that area, northbound 75 at Dort Highway. Also know this: anytime you need to get Vehicle City traffic information throughout the day, you can do it by checking out ClassicFox.com/traffic. And if you spot a slowdown, we invite you to tell us about it at 810-230-WRSR, 810-230-9777 to be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
It's possible you'll run into a little bit of a backup at the Flushing Church of the Nazarene over there on Pearson Road, too, because today they're doing their community food giveaway, and it just started about 8 minutes ago over there. If you want to get in line, it started at 7:30 at Flushing Church of the Nazarene on West Pearson Road. The community food giveaway being conducted. They do this annually now. The Patriot Ambulance Service teaming up with the companies feeding families for their annual community food giveaway today at 7:30 at Flushing Church of the Nazarene.
The Fox Home Morning Show on 103.9 The Fox. Steph's Fox Flashback.
They are one of the longest running and most successful rock groups, and one of the world's best-selling groups of all time, having sold more than 100 million records. In 1971, they were the first rock act to sell out Carnegie Hall for a week, and they're also considered a pioneer in rock music marketing. featuring a very recognizable logo on album covers and sequentially naming their albums using Roman numerals. I never thought about that, but yeah, you know exactly whose album you're about to listen to.
Oh, yeah.
If you waited until the last minute to try for tickets, you're out of luck. That show at Soaring Eagle tonight is sold out. Congrats to our lucky ticket winners. We're going to send this one out to Hal, our smartest guy in the room as well. It's Chicago on the Fox.
Well, he was until he shut it down. There you go. Okay, there he goes. That song is a piece of the what they call Ballet for a Girl in Buchanan, which ended up on the second album of theirs, Chicago. This is the Make Me Smile version of it. But the whole thing is really cool. The whole Ballet for a Girl in Buchanan, if you listen to the whole thing. Anyway, so that's basically been the problem. The algorithms are doing it. And I still say that if the United States, one business, happens to buy TikTok, I believe that, and I've heard this from other experts who follow this kind of thing, that they'll buy the app, but they won't be allowed to buy the algorithm, which is the key to that app's success. So the TikTok that the United States would acquire won't be quite the same thing as been the popular one. Yeah, that's it. You try to research something if you have a passing interest, and suddenly that's all you're getting. Absolutely. That's the kind of thing that you, and even if you stop and look at something, you don't even have to interact with, and I find that on Facebook a lot. You don't have to interact with anything that you're looking at. All you have to do is stop scrolling and stay on that subject for more than a few seconds. And if you do, you're going to start to see nothing but that coming at you in your feed. That's what's really difficult about handling social media when you're trying to, it's become so many people's favorite form of entertainment. And now that's the idea, is to try to suck you in so that you're going to be even more interested, because you're only going to be seeing stuff you're interested in. Or at least they believe that you're interested in. Let's say you're interested in twins. You want to see nothing but twins. Okay? They'll show you that. They will show you that. Just constantly. You'll get a scrolling of presentations of things involving twins. For example, the most recent graduating class at a high school in Long Island, in New York. Plainview Old Bethpage John F. Kennedy High School. 15 sets of twins graduated. 15 sets of twins walked across the stage last weekend as part of the class of 25 at Plainview Old Bethpage John F. Kennedy High School. What national day is it? It is not a national day that is important enough for anybody to have mentioned it. I have no idea if it is. It probably is something, because like every day is something. But not enough to draw any interest from anyone except yourself, Rob Suka. Tomorrow might be different. Come back tomorrow morning to the Hal Hole Saloon, and we will compare notes on that and find out about that. Yeah, that is unusual. It is absolutely unusual. Now, Linda says there were 8 the year that her brother graduated, 1979. All in the same graduating class? Tina says Strawberry Parfait Day may be what it is today. Strawberry Parfait? Sounds like that would work. Huh? And now, live and local from Florida, 420 is joining us. That's Mark, who's here on YouTube.
Wait for it. There we go. 103.9 The Fox with Chicago.
What a great band.
Oh my goodness. It is no accident that in a year that we have not seen a lot of sold out shows, Chicago has managed to sell out Soaring Eagle both times that they've been here this year.
I think they pretty much sold out the country.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah,
too.
they're pretty amazing.
Yes, they are. And man, congrats to our lucky ticket winners. And if you were lucky enough to score those tickets.
Chicago used to have 7 guys in the group, the original. Now they got 10.
And if you are going to the show tonight in Mount Pleasant, I did check the weather. They are called.
You just happen to fall into this thing, like so many people do 420. For future reference, this is our schedule.
So hopefully you'll be back in your room before the rain starts.
We're actually on YouTube and 2 others. We're on Facebook and Twitch right now.
No, not bad.
Instagram on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Any day that begins with a T, we're on Instagram.
0230-9777. You are playing for a pile of prizes. We've got 2
See?
Tigers games, each with a 4-pack of premium seats to see them take on the Tampa Bay Rays on Tuesday, July 8th. That's an evening game at 6:40. Then we've got tickets for the following.
How many
day.
fingers? We'll find out tomorrow. The challenge is on.
We've got $25 gift cards for Scratch Barbecue. And
I mean, I know you're still working off your Fireball birthday cake.
Well, here's the trivia question. What was the first longer version of Chicago's band name? If you're a Chicago fan, you should know this.
Their first album was named it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's hump day, so I made it fairly easy, all right?
That should be easy. 810-230-9777. The first one to get it right wins, so call now.
Good morning,
That
the
should
Fox.
be easy. 810-230. Hey,
Hello, yeah. There we go. Do you have an answer for us?
Yeah, Chicago Transit Authority.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Who's on our phone this morning?
This is Chris.
Chris, how are you?
Great. Just pulling into work at Great Lakes and Rental.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
All
you're
right.
going to see Roy Moore on Friday.
Yeah.
You bet that we will. We're getting ready now, shining it all up, getting things ready to go.
That's cool. So, Chris, did you hear your choices of prizes here this morning?
Yeah, I'd like them Tuesday Tiger tickets.
Those Tuesday's tickets are yours. That means that we have a $25 gift card for Scratch Barbecue to give away before we leave out of here at 10, right? Johnny?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here reading my texts.
He was on his phone.
I'm playing teenager here.
At
so,
work.
Yeah.
That means we do have that $25 gift card to Scratch that we'll give away later in the show.
Yes, we will.
But, Chris, those Tuesday tickets for the Tigers are yours. You hang on tight. We'll get some info off the air. But who just hooked you up with Tigers tickets this morning?
1039 The Fox.
Perfect.
Okay, so 420 is going to be multitasking. Now he's watching 2 of the 3. You want to, you can get a third one of those, whatever the hell you're watching on, and you can watch on Facebook right now also, because we're there too. If you want to kind of just monopolize the internet, you could do that. Jeez. But apparently he's made a violent comment on Twitch. That's too bad. You should know better than that. That's just too bad. That was too silent there for a second there. Now on Facebook, let's welcome in our friend Michelle, who has, she's the clubhouse leader. Michelle, who is down in the Birmingham, Bloomfield Hills area of Michigan, our good friend who is also from the radio business, has also probably clinched the title for the unluckiest person in the world this calendar year. It's amazing what she has had to go through this year. And the hits just keep on coming. And 420 will get his account back in a couple weeks, he tells us. She has, again, come upon foot issues, which started with a major car crash. Rebounding from that, now all of a sudden there's other issues. She posts on social media that she has foot injuries that just won't quit. Crazy. I feel so sorry for you. I just do. Michelle, gosh. I mean, I know people have gone through some stuff. We've got some people even who used to work for us who've gone through some stuff, but not a series like you have. One thing, right after another, right after another. 420 right there. 9 screws and a plate in his right ankle, 3 screws in his knee. Not to even mention the one in his head. Hey, that keeps coming loose, by the way. That one. And Michelle even adds she's had more hits coming since we last spoke. Jeez. Man. The head unscrews and you misplace it. Yeah, that explains a lot. I only have one. I have the one in my thumb from years ago, which Johnny continues to bring up, and the fact that we had that happen prior to one of the station-sponsored concerts that we did. But that goes back to 23 years ago. Still have the scar from that on my thumb. You can see it right here. But that's it. I can't touch what Michelle's done. I cannot touch what Michelle has done and has racked up. Her feet have required more stitches than any NHL goaltender's face ever did back in the days before masks were being worn. Because they used to be loaded up with them. You used to get hit all the time. Goaltenders used to get hit in the face with pucks all the time and stitched up and everything. So that one goalie, when they started wearing masks, decided he was going to be creative. And so he had a mask. His name was Jerry Cheevers. He used to play for the Boston Bruins. Had a goaltender's mask designed with stitches painted on them in places where he would have received them in real life had he not been wearing a mask when he was hit in the face of the puck. Okay, more songs from Steve Miller. So, I mean, we need to go through an entire hour just to recap all of the injuries that Michelle has had just since January, I think. Jeez. Get to the news here in a few minutes. Also, on this 74-degree day, which is far, far more comfortable than what we've been going through, sweltering through the last 2, well, actually into the weekend, so it's more like 4. We've hit 90 degrees plus every day for 4 straight days. Today is going to be the break in that pattern. A little bit of rain, a little bit more rain tomorrow. In fact, we've got a chance of rain, I think, every day through Saturday, at least. Maybe beyond that. Chris thinks T-Mobile is better than Verizon or AT&T, which is important because I have T-Mobile, so it better be. The monsoon season started in New Mexico yesterday. Did you get to experience one? Unlimited's captain, she doesn't have Wi-Fi over at the house of Linda, or the house of Shaka, or the house of Thumbs, or the house of Catgirl. It's always 90 in Florida. Always. And we got the hurricane season starting up here, don't we? I bet that's exciting for you. Mostly cloudy, and it's going to be 81, or at least it's 81 now, I guess. And the current humidity is 78%, which is not bad because, I mean, over here it's like 150 a lot of the time. Yes, even this morning it was cooler than it had been at that time of the morning for the last couple of days, but it's still very, very humid. Okay, Michelle just typed an update regarding the new injury. Did I see it? Apparently not. That would have taken paragraph upon paragraph, and I guess, didn't get to see that. Linda's always hijacking Wi-Fi from McDonald's, I guess. Now, 420 has been skirting it. He's been there 40 years, lost power for a week once and fence once, that's it. And then you got other people who've lost their homes forever because of what goes through there. Okay, I'm going to scroll back through, and I'm seeing... okay, here we go. Now I'm seeing it. Okay, just found out, yes, this is a Michelle update. Just found out that as a result of the hits to her brain from the accident, whoops. No, never mind. Don't do that. I just caught it. Don't have to type it again, Michelle. I've already caught it. I had to scroll back a long way, but I found it. Now have lesions on the brain every time that you say it can't. You have lesions on the brain. So every time you say it can't get any worse, something like that happens. Jeez. Jeez.
Lynn's Classic Rock. 103.9 The Fox. What does Steve Miller know about my tree? Never mind my peaches over there. All right, Steve Miller. Man, what a great show this will be. Steve Miller and Kenny Wayne Shepherd at Soaring Eagle on August 13th. That must be a new announcement.
That'll be a good one.
You know who else they have coming up at Soaring Eagle? Don McLean.
Oh, is he? I think he's been there before, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just, that song has made an entire, he had a couple of songs, he didn't have just one.
Yeah.
But that one, American Pie, has made his entire life.
I know.
Unbelievable.
He will be at Soaring Eagle on August 25th.
Let me check his age.
Michelle is asking, you want to trade luck with her? Ha ha.
Don't even manifest that. Come on.
Look, I don't believe in superstition, so I'll go for it. But Bad Company co-founder Mick Ralphs,
Yes.
and now Bobby Sherman have
Bobby
both died at
Sherman,
the age of 81. We had the 82-year-olds die.
Craig says, I have the nostrils of a coker. He's on YouTube. Where are you looking in from, Craig? I want to know where the fog is
But anyway, Bobby Sherman
in your neighborhood.
passed away. For those of you just hearing about it, this is one of those guilty pleasures that a lot of women in our audience possess.
Oh, good. Don's only 79 years old.
Okay, Don McLean's only 79,
Yes.
so he's in good shape. Right? Because Bobby Sherman was a teen idol when most of our ladies were teenage girls.
I'll admit it.
Yeah,
He was beautiful.
yeah. He was a pretty boy. Is definitely the way I would describe him. Yeah, obviously. He had 3 kind of top 40 hits. This was one of them, big band style. I think this was the first one, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think you're right.
We're not going to play a lot of this one. But I bet you had posters.
I did.
Now we're gonna get handled. We're gonna get hammered on this one because this is copyright material that he's playing. What the hell?
Okay, that's enough of that.
Every girl I knew wanted to be named Julie. Yes.
That was a big deal then? I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He also had, as Hal mentioned earlier today, Easy Come, Easy Go was another one of his hits back in the day.
Yes.
He was 81 years old. Doesn't look anything like the Bobby
No,
Sherman
he
you
does
remember,
not.
by the way. This was not as big a deal. But really, I mean, he could have sang the phone book.
Linda, we haven't had one of those in a long time. I really miss those guys.
And that's the point. I mean, a lot of these hits were because
Periscope had them and kind of kept them. Once we lost Periscope, we lost all of our friends like that.
which order they really came in. This one came out in 1970.
Like, here comes another one. Are you trans?
This might have been the first one.
I have to weigh the positives and negatives of going that way.
Bobby Sherman and his 3 hits, and yeah, he was Marsha's pinup boy too, if you remember from Brady Bunch.
I think that it was Bobby Sherman until Peter Frampton came along.
For you,
Yeah.
yeah. He was Brides of Seattle was the name of the show that he came out in, and David Soul was also in that.
Oh, my Lord, David Soul,
Played
yeah.
one of his 2 brothers, yeah. And David Soul made a recording career on
Where did the trolls come from? School's out for summer, and those who were taking trolling 101 courses and failing them miserably ended up out in the street, and so they came here.
the show. Brides of Seattle, or was it the other way around?
No, I think, no,
Here Come the Brides.
Here
might
Come
have
the
been-
Brides was
the
the
original
TV
movie.
show,
Was,
yeah.
it was the TV show?
Yes.
All right, and there was the movie was that Here Come the Brides. It basically was about, it took place in, like the 19th century, the late 1800s, when brides would come to Seattle to marry the men in Seattle who were all workers. That
Yes.
had transferred or had
After the gold rush, I think, right?
Gold Rush. Well, the Gold Rush was in California, so but I don't know what Seattle had to do with that, but yeah.
But a lot of people headed west.
Yeah, they headed west, and then they ended up in Seattle, which was, of course, a big marine town. So I don't know what they did, but they would.
I think it was a lumber town, wasn't it?
I think now you're onto it. That's what it was. It was a lumber
Lumber
town.
and fishing.
So a lot of guys went there. There weren't any women, so they would ship the women in on these ships, and that's what started the movie. And then the movie gave way to the television show that gave way to Bobby Sherman and David Soul.
420 is off today.
But
we liked it at the time.
yeah, it was simple.
It was.
It's almost like a jingle for a gum commercial.
I know, you're right.
801. Let's head on.
All right, news time.
Right now for all the real news. And with that, of course, here's Hal Maas.
5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Fick Landscape Supplies. Summer is here, it's garden season, and Fick Landscape Supplies can help. The finest topsoil, compost, and leaf humus around for your garden. 18 varieties of decorative stones, 7 colors of mulch, and they do deliver. 2 locations to serve you. Find out more at ficklandscapesupplies.com and like them on Facebook. Now let's get Fick and busy in the garden. Well, as Iran and Israel wake up this morning, a ceasefire brokered by Qatar appears to be holding, despite both sides accusing the other of violating the truce in the hours after it was announced. The initial violation sparked a furious outburst from President Trump, who is now in the Netherlands for a NATO summit. An apparent homicide at the Clover Tree Apartments off Court Street near I-75 now under investigation by Flint Township Police. They say it happened Monday, but they're releasing little information beyond that so far, just that it is being treated as a homicide probe. Brief scare yesterday at my Michigan Medical Center in Saginaw when police had to check out a suspicious package there. Bomb squad checked it out and reportedly found no threat contained in that package, but the facility did spend a few minutes on lockdown while the investigation was conducted out of caution. Boxing fans in and around Flint mourning the passing of Joe Bird, the patriarch of Flint's first family of boxing, whose career included coaching the 1992 U.S. Olympic boxing team and the formation of the Flint Police Athletic League boxing team. His son Chris was a 2-time heavyweight world champion. Joe Bird was 89 years old. Tigers pounded the A's last night 11-4. They're going to go at it again tonight at Comerica Park, 6:40 p.m. first pitch. Great Lakes Loons lost to the Fort Wayne Tin Caps yesterday 8-7. And to cap this one off, there were no big winners in last night's Mega Millions drawing, so the jackpot for Friday rolls over to $348 million. Tonight, that Powerball jackpot is $140 million. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Forecast today including some sunshine mixed with the clouds. At a chance we'll see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Temps to touch around 79 today with relatively light east-northeast winds. Clouds take over tonight. We'll be bottoming out around 65 degrees. And then tomorrow we're to expect another sun-clouds mix, perhaps a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon. Temperatures up around 83. Also for Friday, some sunshine for the most part, although the chances for a shower or thunderstorm do increase as the day gets later. Warmer temperatures also return on Friday. We might get up to about 87. Right now it's 68 in Flint, and in Saginaw 70.
This is the Fox Home Morning Show. Morris Owasso.
Flint's classic rock authority.
103.9. The Fox.
We're going to have a Foxhole People Poll coming up this hour. And at some point, we're going to be giving away a $25 gift certificate to Scratch Barbecue this hour. Stay right where you are. 103.9 The Fox.
Okay, let's give you a smile source says. We got 2 of them today. They're Shelties. They live in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and they are Lacey and Dusty. Let's give you a look at Lacey and Dusty, the Shelties. There you go. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma is where you're going to find these two. I don't know of any other information about them. They do say this about, on this particular page, not about these two in particular, but they're talking about as the dog days begin to ramp up, and we're starting to call them that, and they've been that for the last 4 days here. It is fun to have a number of sweet treats in your arsenal that can stave off boredom when it's too hot to go outside. And this is something that I haven't really done with Jacko yet. A stash of popsicles, for example. A handy lick mat. We tried that. Lick mats don't work for him because he just tears them up. He just literally destroys them. Lick mats. They're good. They're getting the getting the peanut butter off those things. He's an expert at them. But then once he gets them out, he's frustrated that there's not more, so he tears up the lick pad with his teeth. Legitimately tries to. It's not like it's by accident. He just tries to rip them apart. Flavor ideas to get you started for these dogs. Blueberry pie, which is pureed fruit or small berries mixed with yogurt. Coconut banana, creamy coconut milk blended with banana. These are for the dogs now. Watermelon refresher, blend with water or yogurt and freeze in an ice cube molds. Remove the seeds first. Just before you freeze, top with a few dog treats for an enticing garnish. As with any human food, check for ingredients that aren't safe for dogs. Artificial sweeteners like xylitol can be toxic. Some ideas for your dog during the summertime to cool him off, or her. Guys, oh, you made them for Rocco. Watermelon and yogurts. There's an idea. That's good. Like that. And they're nice lack of calorie type of food, too. That's another thing that's good. We don't worry about that with Jacko. He's got an amazing metabolism. He's got the kind of metabolism Burke has, where you can eat anything all day, every day, and not gain an ounce. And that's kind of, fortunately for him, where he's been. All right, guys, thank you very much for your attention and your attendance and being here on a Wednesday morning. It's hump day, so that means we ask that you act accordingly. And get ready tomorrow morning, after a pleasant, peaceful, productive day today, to join us on Instagram, Hal Maas _news. We'll be in the Hal Hole Saloon, where everybody knows your name. So come on in, order your favorite beverage. Maybe a light snack we'll supply for you, too. You can sit on down, and you can then enjoy all your favorite people who are here, known as the Hal Raisers, and they will be here in the Hal Hole Saloon tomorrow morning. Hope you're going to join them. Okay? Okay.